some stories should not need an algorithm to survive. Some names should not have to beg for attention between celebrity drama, political yelling, and whatever outrage the internet decided to sell us this week. And some places should still make you stop for a second, take your hat off if you are wearing one, and remember that the life we call normal did not come cheap. This is the first Forgotten Valor Wednesday, and here is what that means. This is not about pretending America has always been perfect. It has not. No country made by human beings ever has been. It is also not about turning patriotism into a bumper sticker or using the flag like a weapon in an argument with strangers online. This is about memory. It is about the Americans who stood in the hard places, carried the heavy load, and asked for very little in return. It is about the battlefields, memorials, national parks, old ships, old forts, quiet cemeteries, folded letters, family stories, and names carved into stone. It is about teaching the next generation that freedom is not some free sample sitting on the counter. Somebody paid for it. Somebody guarded it. Somebody signed their name, packed their bag, stepped forward and said, "If the bill comes due, I will stand there." That is what this lane is for. For those we need to remember. On Wednesdays, we are going to slow down for a minute. Not soft, not boring, not some dusty classroom film from 1974. We are going to tell these stories like they matter, because they do. Some weeks, we may talk about a Medal of Honor recipient. That medal is the United States' highest award for military valor in action, and it is reserved for actions above and beyond the call of duty. When we tell those stories, we are going to be careful. Names, ranks, units, dates, citations, all of it. If we cannot verify it, it does not go in the video. Because a man's name is not decoration, a woman's service is not background noise, and sacrifice is not content filler. If we say it, we need to mean it.
Other weeks, we may stand in the story of a place. A national park at sunrise. A battlefield with grass moving in the wind. A monument people walk past too fast. A memorial where the names are not just names. The National Park Service says we memorialize to remember a person, a place, or a point in time. That sounds simple, but it is bigger than it looks. Because a memorial is not only about the past. It is a question pointed straight at us. Do you know what happened here? Do you understand why this mattered? Are you willing to carry it forward when nobody is making you? That is where patriotism gets real. Not loud, real. The easy version of loving America is waving a flag when everybody else is waving one. The harder version is learning what the flag survived. The harder version is reading the names, not just taking a picture. The harder version is admitting the story is complicated and still being grateful enough to protect what is good in it. Because America is not just politics. America is the Marine in the rain, the sailor on watch, the soldier in the dust, the airman on a frozen flight line, the Coast Guardsman in a storm, the nurse in a field hospital, the family at the kitchen table trying to keep life together while somebody they love is gone. America is a farmer fixing fence before sunrise. It is a lineman going up a pole after the storm. It is a teacher opening a classroom, a welder striking an arc, a mechanic turning a wrench, a firefighter pulling on boots, a kid standing in front of a memorial and asking, "Who was that?" And if we answer that kid with, "I do not know," then that is on us. That is exactly why this Wednesday exists. Because forgetting does not usually happen all at once. It happens little by little. One skipped story, one closed museum, one old veteran nobody asks about, one grave with no visitor, one name we meant to look up but never did. Then one day the meaning is gone and all we have left is a symbol we cannot explain.
So this lane is going to be simple. We are going to remember people. We are going to remember places. We are going to remember the work, the courage, the loss, and the country they were trying to hand forward. We are going to do it without turning every episode into a political fistfight. There is enough of that already. This channel is for teaching. It is for the person who works all week, comes home tired, and still wants to understand something real. It is for the veteran who knows some names never made it into the history book but still deserve to be spoken. It is for the homeowner, the apprentice, the parent, the student, the kid who likes cool facts, and the grown man who still gets goosebumps when the anthem hits right. It is for Americans who are tired of being told that loving your country has to mean being blind. It does not. Love your country with your eyes open. Know the flaws, know the failures, know the cost, and then know the courage too. Know the medic who moved when everyone else was pinned down. Know the pilot who stayed with the aircraft. Know the sailor who went back into the smoke. Know the ranger who keeps the battlefield clean. Know the families who preserved letters, photographs, uniforms, medals, and memories because they knew one day somebody would need them. That is what remembrance is. It is not worshiping the past. It is taking custody of the truth. The National Archives calls the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights the Charters of Freedom. Those documents matter, but paper does not defend itself. Every generation has to decide whether those words still mean something when life gets hard, when fear gets loud, when comfort gets tempting, and when it would be easier to forget. So on Wednesdays, we are going to pick the story back up. Maybe it is a Marine. Maybe it is a sailor. Maybe it is a national park. Maybe it is a monument. Maybe it is a small town name nobody talks about anymore. But the mission is the same. Remember it right, teach it clean, pass it on.
And if you are watching this while you are drinking coffee, getting ready for work, sitting in your truck, or winding down after a long day, here is the point. You do not have to be a historian to keep memory alive. You can visit the park. You can read the plaque. You can learn one name. You can tell your kid why that flag is folded the way it is. You can stop walking past the memorial like it is landscaping. You can ask the old man at church where he served. You can ask your grandfather what he remembers. You can look up the name on the bridge, the school, the road, the VFW wall, the dusty photograph in the hallway. You can do one small thing that says, "You are not forgotten." That is not nothing. That is how a country keeps its soul. Not by yelling louder, by remembering better. So welcome to Forgotten Valor Wednesday. This is where we slow down and give the story room to breathe. This is where the names matter. This is where the places matter. This is where accuracy matters more than speed. And this is where we do our best to get it right or leave it out. Because the people we are talking about earned better than sloppy. The country deserves better than lazy. And the next generation deserves more than noise. Some stories should not need an algorithm to survive. So we are going to carry them ourselves. For the ones who served. For the ones who sacrificed. For the families who kept going. For the names on stone. For the places that still whisper if you slow down long enough to listen. For those we need to remember. This is No Voltage Veteran, and this is Forgotten Valor Wednesday.